Welcome to the Star Sports Show. I am Arjun Raina, your host, and I am joined by Will Cappola. Today, we have a lot of topics to cover as the sports world just got back into business. Now, enough talking, and let's start off hot with Will's opinion on the MLB trade deadline. So, Will, when is the MLB trade deadline?
The MLB trade deadline is August 1st.
So no trades can happen after that.
That is correct.
So, are there any major trades that are happening that will likely happen before the trade deadline?
Yeah, there's a lot of people like Shohei Ohtani, right? He's a two-way player, could pitch, he could hit. And a lot of the teams want him, but they might not have the money for him, right? And some of the teams that are interested in him are the Mets, the Yankees, the Rockies, the Reds. I mean, you can name anyone. Everyone wants him.
I've been hearing some stuff about Bellinger and Donovan. Are the rumors true that he's going to come to the Yankees?
Well, I'm not sure yet, but those rumors do seem pretty good. Pretty likely that they'll happen because Yankee Stadium is a lefty ballpark, meaning that they'll benefit from it. And they'll hit more home runs and everything.
So it'll benefit the Yankees when they get Bellinger and Donovan?
If they do, yes. Yes, it will benefit them.
Are there any other major players that are likely to be traded? And where will they probably go?
There are a few other major players, such as Shane Bieber of the Cleveland Guardians. He may go to the Orioles. I mean,
what position does he play?
He's a pitcher. And you have David Bednar of the Pirates, who may go to the Brewers. There's a lot of people. I just can't get it off the top of my head. So many.
How will the Yankees feel about Aaron Judge's toe injury?
Well, it has definitely impacted the team in a really big way, as they're now in last place, possibly fourth place. I haven't checked the standings yet today, but they're not doing too good. And what's funny about that is that the Yankees would still be in first place in the American League Central since their division is just not good. And I guess we have a lot of competition in our division. I mean, without Aaron Judge, it's have it. It's not there.
How much has Aaron Judge's injury affected the Yankees? Were they first in their division before Aaron Judge got injured or something?
They were not first. The highest they came was third place because they had the Orioles and the Rays battling for first. As of right now, the Orioles are in first, which is good for them. I mean, they had to go through a lot to get there. But the Yankees were in third place. They were still doing very good, trying to catch up. And then, as you know, Aaron Judge ran straight into the wall. I mean, made the catch, but, got hurt and can't do anything about that. And this goes back to the trade deadline. I mean, that's why the Yankees need to pick up outfielders, because when will Judge be back, we don't know. Has he gotten better? Yes, he has. So
thank you for being here, Will, and we'll be back in a short while. Welcome back to the Star Sports Show. Now we have Abhay Raina to talk about cricket. So, I've heard about this thing called MLC, which is starting. It's cricket in the U.S. So, what is it about?
So, Major League Cricket, as the full name is, MLC, is basically an attempt to popularize cricket in the U.S. It's not a very popular sport. It was back in the days, but then baseball gained popularity, and this is part of an attempt to reintroduce cricket as a major sport in the U.S.
So, what is the format? Because I heard that this is the first time it's happening.
Yes, this is the first time it is happening, and to start off, there's 6 teams, and every team plays each team one time, and then we have a playoff bracket, as can be seen. The first and second place team on the points table will play each other, and the winner of that will automatically go to the final. The third and fourth place team play each other. The winner of that will play the loser of the first and second game, and the winner will go to the final. It basically gives the first two teams an advantage. The teams that get first and second place in the group stage.
So what are the teams?
So there are 6 teams: the Seattle Orcas, the Washington Freedom, MI New York, the Texas Super Kings, the California Unicorns, and the Los Angeles Knight Riders.
So the standings are...
Seattle is in first place. The Texas Super Kings in second place. The Washington Freedom are in third. MI New York is in fourth. The San Francisco Unicorns is in fifth. And Los Angeles Knight Riders are in sixth.
So the playoff season is coming up. So what are the qualification chances for all of the teams?
So Seattle, Washington, and Texas have already qualified, although none of the 3 teams are certified a spot in that first and second place game. Landing a spot in that game is extremely important, as it can nearly certify qualification to the finals. So there's only 1 game left in the regular season between MI New York and the Seattle Orcas. MI New York has been doing pretty good lately, and they are fighting with the San Francisco Unicorns for the 4th spot in the playoffs. However, for the Unicorns, it'll be extremely difficult to qualify, as MI New York will have to lose by an extremely large margin. Basically just had a record for this season in order not to be able to qualify.
So are there any teams that are eliminated?
The Los Angeles Knight Riders have already been eliminated from the tournament after losing their first 4 games.
And what happens if New York ends up beating Seattle?
If New York beats Seattle, then they will land a spot in the top 2. However, if they win by a lot, then they will play Texas in the first and second game. However, if they win by a closer margin, then they will have to play Seattle again in the first and second place game.
Okay. So when you say big margin for MINY to not qualify, how big do you mean?
It would basically have to set a record and be one of the biggest wins in cricketing history.
So since there is only 1 remaining game in the season between New York and Seattle, who do you think will win, and what are the odds?
So Seattle has had a pretty good tournament. They won the first 3 games. They just recently lost the 4th game. In the meantime, MINY has won 2 and lost 2. However, MINY, when they have won, they have completely destroyed the other team. And based off of their recent form coming into this game, I do believe that they will win this game.
How close do you think this game will be?
It will be extremely close, and it'll probably be a thrilling game.
So there's been a lot of talk about domestic performances from the U.S. versus overseas performances from other countries. So what do you think about that?
Well, we have from the West Indies, we have Andre Russell, who is currently leading the run scorer. He has the most points this season, and although his team is the team that's already eliminated, he has been the one standout for his team. And also Adam Zampa, an Australian-born cricket player who is playing. He is currently leading in outs or wickets. But Americans have done pretty good this tournament.
Can you name some?
Cameron Gannon is currently tied with Adam Zampa as the leading wicket taker, and his presence has been a huge benefit for his team. We also have Saurabh Netravalkar, who had the best figures this tournament yet, and those figures are actually some of the best in T20 history, and he has been an extremely important asset for his team.
What about Nalshish Kenjige?
He has not taken as many wickets, although he's been preventing the other team from scoring as much as possible and increased the pressure on them throughout the games.
So, that's all we have with Abhay Raina. Don't go yet. We still have one more person.
Well, a bird, bird, bird. But bird's a word, well, a bird, bird, bird. But bird's a word, well, a bird, bird, bird. But bird's a word, well, a bird, bird, bird. But bird's a word, Brian, don't you know about the bird? Well, Peter's gonna tell you about the bird. Well, a bird, bird. But bird's a word, well, a bird.
Before we resume, we had a chance to talk to some people on which sports they like the most out of cricket, tennis, and baseball. This is what the people said.
So my favorite sport out of all these sports is baseball because I think it's easier to understand and it's more of like a fun sport with a lot of running other than like tennis and cricket, which are kind of confusing.
My favorite sport of the three to watch would be cricket because it's very fast and energetic.
My favorite sport to watch is tennis because there are a lot of elements to it.
Welcome back, and now I am here with Preston Wang to talk about the Wimbledon finals, which concluded just recently. So, who ended up winning the Wimbledon finals?
So in the Wimbledon finals, Carlos Alcaraz actually beat out Novak Djokovic in a 3-2 match game.
So in the rounds leading up to the finals, how were the performances by Alcaraz and Djokovic?
Both Alcaraz and Djokovic played very well in their respective games, beating their opponents 3-0 or 3-1.
How many times has Alcaraz won these major tournaments?
This was actually only Alcaraz's second Grand Slam win ever, so
It's a big thing for him.
yeah.
What about Djokovic?
Djokovic, he's a lot more experienced. He's actually previously won 23 different Grand Slams.
By Grand Slams, you mean individual tournaments or all four in the same year?
By Grand Slams, I mean individual tournaments, but he still has won all four in the same year a bunch of times.
So the four tournaments are Wimbledon. What are the others?
I'm pretty sure the other ones are the U.S. Open, the French Open, and then the Australian Open.
So after this, are there any changes in the rankings on the official rankings?
In terms of official rankings, there haven't been any changes yet, or due to Wimbledon and Alcaraz beating Djokovic. But Alcaraz is previously ranked number 1 for men's singles, while Djokovic is ranked number 2.
How much have the total earnings been for both Alcaraz as well as Djokovic, including this recent Wimbledon?
So Alcaraz has actually won quite a bit of money in around $8 million worth of earnings just by playing tennis and winning tournaments. However, that's not much compared to Djokovic, who's won nearly about $170 million just by playing tennis.
How long has Djokovic been playing in these official tournaments?
Djokovic has been playing just a very long time. I don't know the exact amount of time though.
Okay. Thank you for being here, Preston Wang. And that is the end of episode 1 of the Star Sports Show.